I start with you. Your thoughts on the Super Eagles. We thought it was going to be a 5-star showing. We thought the guys would come out all gone blazing and take the Rwandese to the cleaners. But very skin of our teeth, we were able to secure a 1-0 win.
Yeah, last weekend I challenged that Eagles should just give us something to celebrate, something to share. At least, as I said, it's far different from how it was in previous matches. The difference still a bit long, but of course there's hope. I don't know how it would have looked like in Nigeria, or even for Fulham or Super Eagles, if the game of Saturday had ended in a draw. You saw the tension just towards the end of the game. It was on the face of Osimhen, the Eric Sekuchel, there was William Troost-Ekong, and millions of Nigerians all praying that at least let's secure these 3 points. So it was important we got 3 points, and as it is now, it's a matter of organizing ourselves. The game may not be as clean or as interesting as we want to see it, but of course, this is a team that have been wobbling and fumbling over the months, over the last several months. There hadn't been win for the Eagles. So why not take what we got and just look ahead? Perhaps some magic. You saw that goal of Tolu, for example. So many players were very much in that goal area. There was that hunger. Everybody needed a goal. Unlike how it used to be when it was just maybe Osimhen in the goal match or Ademola Lookman in the goal match. But take a look at how many players that are involved in that build-up. So my kudos to Tolu Arokodare for at least showing that beside Osimhen, there's another person that can give us goals. Enough energy, enough confidence. From when he came into, when that goal was recorded, it was like he was ready for action. And thank God he gave us something to celebrate.
Now, Joy, let's look at the performance of our players. Last week we talked about how the uncertainty around some of our players from their club, Ademola Lookman, and it also played out in the game based on the fact that the performance was insipid based on the quality we know that they could bring to the plate.
I would say it's actually a shame for me to play Rwanda and struggle this much. Having two CAF player of the year in the team. All our players are home based, both on the bench and on the pitch. So we have so much capacity that I don't know, is it a problem of a manager or is it the boys by themselves that don't really dig in deep to know what they are worth and what to bring on the table? I watched the first half. I was just like, how can we be playing Rwanda and we are having so much tension? Going into the second half, I said, okay, I couldn't even watch it because I will tell you, I've really zoomed out of this World Cup qualifiers based on the disappointments we've been having back to back. And I must give kudos to the coach who actually decided to say, you know what happened last time in Uyo will not repeat itself again. And he brought in Troost-Ekong at the tail end of the game, brought in Bright Osai, to just close everywhere. At the tail end of the game, we were playing 5 defenders to protect just one goal with our blood and life. So it was so shameful to watch. But I think at the end of the day, we just need to get the job done, which they did, to get the 3 points, which was more important. So regardless of the style of play or the people that came in at the last minutes of the game, to just make sure like what happened before doesn't repeat itself. And kudos to him, to be honest, for managing that game.
Raymond, Tony, I would like us to look at some of the specifics and the fallout from that game. Let's start with our goalkeeper, Stanley Nwabali. I think he needs some lecture.
Orientation, right?
Orientation is key at this time, because if that fixture were to be officiated using the video assistant referee, he would have been sent out.
Yeah, but it's very, very unfortunate that a goalkeeper of his caliber, could still be committing such blunder, making such miserable mistake, and of course delaying Nigeria from moving forward. It's quite unfortunate, and I think that anybody or the goalkeeper's trainer or Eric Chell himself should talk to Nwabali to control his emotions. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. Nwabali will put us into deeper problem. We're already in a mess. And of course, we do not need a goalkeeper, like Nwabali chooses his emotions. Yes. And of course, things that is in South Africa. And even the South African players themselves cannot behave the way we saw Nwabali behave. That was very, very poor. And of course, Nwabali should go back and watch that. Super Eagles officials should go back the goalkeeper's trainer, NFF officials should go back and replay that game and watch the emotions of Nwabali. Nwabali was a minus, despite the fact that the Super Eagles struggled to get a goal. Matthew, it's really very, very sad. We saw Oshime, Oshime came, and of course we saw the type of the injury that he got. He barely gave himself the injury, because after that collision, he came out. The ball, he was guarding the ball.
Yes.
And of course, the Rwandan, from trickly, just put up his leg, and Oshime fell on the ground and got up and went down again. I think that the Super Eagles do not even know, how it is that Nigerians are feeling towards this World Cup. We can't cry more than the bereaved. The Super Eagles, they have everything. They play in bigger clubs. They earn bigger salaries than Rwandese. And of course, we saw how sleek and how swift the Rwandans were running around with the ball.
The mobility on the part of their players.
The passes they were doing, it was so interesting.
Very cohesive.
So alluring. Something that makes you to fall in love with football. But then there was absolutely no sense of direction, no sense of urgency on the part of the Super Eagles. Sometimes I was even thinking, that we're playing away. And of course, these are the Super Eagles that know that they need goals. Matthew, now we are not even talking about beating South Africa. We are talking about, if we finish second, Matthew, can the Super Eagles qualify in the strenuous playoffs? That is going to come out, for them. I think that is so obvious now that the World Cup has finally, eluded Nigeria.
Let's just hope. We'll go on a break, and when we return, we'll be looking at the build-up to that very important fixture against South Africa in Bloemfontein on Tuesday. Raymond have something to say concerning the Gaffer as well. So